Hello, how you doing? Welcome back to the Mike on the Mike podcast. You came to the right place. We're here to chill out today and have a good time, like we always do. It's an unfiltered Friday, so we're gonna kick back, relax, and check out some news stories. And if you could tell, I'm a little sick. I've been sick for the past couple of days, and I had a long freaking night. So we're just gonna kind of see how this goes. But you know me already, man. It's Mike on the mic. We do cool things. We have fun. And make sure you just subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And then I believe you can add the podcast to whatever you're listening to. And I believe, just as of right now, we have it on Spotify podcast and Apple Podcast, the usual shebang. I'm gonna try and put it on iHeart too, because I just realized that they have podcasts on there too. So we're going to try and add that at some point. But thank you for joining us, and let's get into this Unfiltered Friday, baby. I found this one story that was pretty eye-catching. It's a hiker kills coyote with his bare hands after an attack, and tests confirmed the animal had rabies. So immediately after reading that title, I'm thinking, hey, does this guy have rabies? Did he get bitten? I don't know. Let's take a look. This is in Johnston, Rhode Island. A coyote that a hiker killed with his bare hands has tested positive for rabies. The Rhode Island Department of Environmental Management and the Rhode Island Department of Health has announced that. I guess they found the animal when he freaking murked it. The hiker was attacked on Friday and bitten on the leg while walking in the woods in Johnston, according to police. The hiker pinned the coyote down by its neck, killing it by cutting off its air supply. Police said, Jesus. They're going crazy in this article right now. The same coyote is believed to have attacked a dog walker the day before in nearby. I don't know the name of this town, honestly. I'm not even going to try and pronounce it, to be honest. It's unusual for a coyote to attack a human under normal circumstances. Tests at the Rhode Island State Health Laboratories confirmed the rabies infection. And it was only the third report of rabid coyote in Rhode Island since 1994, officials say. So, did this thing bite him in the leg or what? In the arm somewhere? If he was attacked? What the hell? In January 2020, a man fatally strangled a coyote with it. I don't care about that one. I'm here for the one that we just were reading. Oh, he did get bitten in the leg. Yeah, wait. I read that before and I said, what the heck? Hiker attacked on Friday, bitten in the leg. Yeah. Boy, that's good. Alright, we'll read this one. In January 2020, a man fatally strangled a coyote with his bare hands after the animal attacked him and his family as they hiked in New Hampshire. Sorry about that. I'm still sick a little bit. That coyote was tested for rabies, but it's unclear whether the results were positive. What does that mean, actually? Coyote was tested for rabies, but it was unclear that they were positive. Can it be like half positive? What the hell is all that about? Oh my gosh. Hold up 1 second on the podcast. I have to switch my battery out on my camera. Alright, new battery in. Sorry about that, folks. Technology's a little rough, I'll say that. Okay, I forgot to put it in. The new battery in my camera there. So, it's in. We're good. Let's hit the next story. That coyote crap is a little wild. But like I was saying, I don't know if it's like a half thing. Like, I don't know if you can notice like a half rabies in something if you test it. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. But it was kind of weird. Whoa, what the heck is this? This is what happened when a Cold War era missile was found in the garage of someone's home. Who the hell was holding on to that? In Bellevue, Washington. An inert rocket of the type used to carry a nuclear warhead has been found in the garage of a home of a deceased resident in Washington State, police said. Bellevue police responded Thursday to a report of a military-grade rocket in the garage of a home in the city across Lake Washington from Seattle. Police said an Air Force museum in Dayton, Ohio, had called Wednesday evening to report an offer to donate the item, which a neighbor said had been purchased at an estate sale. Bomb squad members inspected the rusting object and found that it was a Douglas Air 2 Genie, what does that say? Previous designation MB1. I don't know what that means. It's an unguided air-to-air rocket that is designed to carry a 1.5 KTW-25 nuclear warhead. There was no warhead attached to the base, and there was no rocket fuel, essentially meaning that the item was an artifact with no explosive hazard. Okay. Well, that makes it a bit better, I'd say. Probably just a thing that this guy wanted, who I think recently died, because it was, they said it was bought at a estate sale, which is kind of sad, man, you know? That kind of stuff sucks. But when this happens, you find cool shit like this. It's kind of wild. Because the item was inert and the military did not request it back, police left the item with the neighbor to be restored for display in a museum, police said. That's pretty cool. According to the Air Force Armament Museum Foundation, the unguided air-to-air rocket was used by the U.S. and Canada during a period of the Cold War, when an interception of Soviet strategic bombers was a major military concern. In July 1957, a Genie was launched at 18,000 feet, about 5,500 meters, from an F-89J interceptor and detonated over Yucca Flats, Nevada. The first and only test detonation of a U.S. nuclear-tipped air-to-air rocket. That's a little bit above my head. That's pretty crazy. And police said on Twitter that we think it's going to be a long, long time before we get another call like this again. Adding a rocket emoji on it. That's pretty funny. I'm sure it will be a while. I don't think a lot of people just have these sitting in their garage. The picture's pretty wild too. Looks like the cops are having a good time posing for that pic, I'd say. That's pretty crazy. Oh yeah, here's a story with Punxsutawney Phil predicts an early spring at the Groundhog Day festivities. Yeah, fuck you, Phil. That shit didn't happen, buddy. Yeah, that shit did not happen, my friend. Let's see what we got. Woman tossing trash falls into dumpster. Survives getting compacted in garbage truck. What? She survived getting mangled in a garbage truck? I kind of forgot garbage trucks did that, to be honest. This is in Manchester, New Hampshire, I think. I think that's what NH is. Yeah, New Hampshire. A woman fell into a dumpster while throwing out her garbage and was later rescued from a trash truck that had compacted the contents while she was inside. Fire department officials in New Hampshire said. Luckily, neighbors had heard her screams, and the trash compartment was equipped with a camera. The driver spotted the woman stuck inside and called 911. By then, the driver had reportedly compacted the garbage truck up to 4 times. Holy shit, man. Rescuers used a basket ladder to reach the top of the truck and lift her out. By then, she was standing, talking, yelling, but was not alert enough to answer questions. The woman was taken to a hospital after Monday's misadventure. Her name was not released. In 32 years, I've never seen anything like this in my whole career, Chief Bob told WMUR-TV. It's alarming because you don't really think it's true when you hear it, he said. Yeah, and that's the story. Man, that's crazy, man. Imagine tossing trash. Why did this woman toss trash? Like, as far as it says here, it doesn't say she works with the garbage truck, so why is she just tossing trash in there anyway? And how the fuck do you fall in? Must have been drunk or something. I mean, honest to God to ya. How do you just throw trash in a trash truck and fall in, man? Do you just take the bag and fucking throw it in and you don't have to throw it with that much force to where you're like falling in, man? What the fuck? Like, fall in. How the fuck do you do that? And how do you stay it? I mean, if it compacts on 4 times, dude, fuck. Get a grip. And you live it? Oh, that's crazy, man. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard, honestly. Like in the one episode on this, we had a kid that climbed through a freaking claw machine chute, which is like, yeah, that's whatever. Kids do that shit. He got stuck in there. But like, dude, in a trash truck, a garbage truck, at least garbage trucks near me, I don't see it, man. And you wouldn't catch me throwing my stuff in there because you pay for garbage guys to fucking do that. How is she fucking throwing stuff and falling in, man? Like, even if it was a dumpster or something, I still couldn't even see how you fall in that. It's like fucking 6 foot tall almost. Well, not really. It, like, a normal dumpster usually probably comes like up to my chest or like my neck, and I'm like 5 something. So it's like at least like a 4 foot or something. You know what I mean? Like, maybe if it's like here, maybe 4 foot. How am I gonna throw something and fall in? That one's making me think too much, honest to God. I mean, that is just weird, man. Whatever, let's find something else. We got a Reddit relationship drama goes viral as woman ditches date who lied to her about his age. Oh, this let's read this, man. I'm getting a freaking video on my thing playing. I don't want that. Okay, so there's a woman who felt uncomfortable, left a date abruptly, but did not have the support of a good friend. It says. So let's take a read, shall we? More than 3,000 people have commented so far, and over 7,300 have rendered their reactions to a relationship drama that has touched a chord on social media. I met a guy online, claimed to be 4 years older than me. But no big deal, I'm 24, wrote a woman this weekend. We were interested in the same things and got along well, wrote the woman, going by the username DefiantBox9928 on Reddit. Let me tell you, if you're going to meet somebody online, Reddit is the last place in the world for it. I don't understand why people do this. I don't understand who they think that they are talking to. It's most likely a goddamn virgin fucking neckbeard guy. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't even be saying shit like that, but it's so true. Like, fuck, man. So, she added, we decided to meet for a drink last weekend. I don't even know how you found this guy. But whatever. She posted her story on the Reddit page known as Am I Wrong? Popular site for sharing personal dilemmas and seeking the thoughts and opinions of others. She wrote that she went to the bar and was looking for him. Guessing they decided to meet at this one bar. When she finally spotted him, he looked different, older, she said. I went over and met him, she related, and told him that he looks different than his picture. Catfished. He replied, oh yeah, those pictures are a few years old. The woman said to him, according to her account, but you're 28, right? He replied that he was actually 42. But age is just a number, he says. Good Lord. The woman said that at that point she got the ick. She told him she forgot her phone in the car and just dipped on out of there. She didn't return. She continued in her account. He messaged me asking where I was, and I said I went home, that I'm not into older guys or being lied to. I mean, yeah, like, it's just simple, like, fucking you said you were 28, you're 42, bro. That's a huge difference. The man replied that I was well, hold on, let me tell you this real quick, alright. This motherfucker said he was 28, and he's actually 42, and I don't know if you've ever watched the what the fuck's that, the To Catch a Predator show with Chris Hansen. A lot of times those guys are pretty old, you know, they're older dudes. So maybe like a 40-year-old comes on that show and tries to meet like a fucking child and shit, which is fucked up. But sometimes they'll like lie about their age, and those guys are so weird about it. To where if it's like a 40-year-old man, they'll like lie and say they're like 38 or something. Like, what's the fucking deal there? You said a 2-year gap. What the fuck's the point of that? You're still meeting a damn child, you fucking weirdo. Oh no, I'm 38. Turns out he's actually 40. Or like sometimes sometimes the dude will be like, oh yeah, I'm like 40, and then like Chris Hansen will have like a narration. He'd be like, nope, that's a lie. He actually turned 41 2 days ago. It's like, what the fuck? Motherfucker was probably 40 when you record. Well, anyway, she added about what happened. Honestly, I thought the whole thing was funny, so I told my friend. But her friend did not support her actions. She said, I was mean for leaving a date and not even telling him that maybe he was a nice guy, being judgmental. Yeah, but like, you don't want to be fucking lied to, bro. Like, that's a shit friend, bro. 28 to 42 is a big difference, okay? Now, maybe some people won't have a big, like, reaction to that, but some people do. I mean, that's a huge fucking difference than 28. So the woman on Reddit added, I'm not into guys that much older. People can do what they want, but it's not for me. Yeah, so it seems like she's just kind of like nice about it. And I think if you want to leave like a date like that, that was probably the best like way to do it. Just say, hey, you know, I left my phone in the car. Whoops, I'll be back, and then just leave. Like, I think it's a safe way, because like she didn't even know the guy either, so it's like, you don't know what he would do if you just actually like opened up and was like, yeah, I'm not into older guys, I'm leaving. And then maybe he would be like, wow, what the, you know, maybe he'd be like pissed or something. You don't want to deal with that because you don't fucking know the guy. Like, I think she kind of handled it nice. And she ended the post that she made by asking, "Am I wrong for leaving?" And I don't think so, personally, in my opinion. I think you freaking handled it well, leaving that way, and it's up to your personal preference. I mean, I really don't even think you should be asking freaking Reddit if you're right or wrong, because it's your decision if you want to see a guy that's fucking 42 or whatever the fuck. He said he was 28. I would dip too, honestly, if it was thing. And the top comment on the post says, "If age is just a number, then why lie about it? You're not wrong. Good for you for leaving." I agree. I mean, it's not up for other people to say if you're right or wrong, in my opinion, man. Like, it's fucking your decision, and that's the weirdest fucking thing about posting online and stuff. These people feel like they have to, like, be a part of your freaking life or something and say, "Hey, oh no, dude, you actually shouldn't have left because, like, this guy," like, dude, like, shut the hell up. It's your decision. If you wanted to stay, you would have stayed, and then you wouldn't have been asking for goddamn, like, sympathy points online, which is, I mean, it's not your, she's not, like, being a bitch by doing that. I just think that it's wrong that you should even ask for a thing, because I think that they did the right thing. Just because, I mean, she herself said not into older guys, and she thought she was going into a 28-year-old situation, and I believe that she said that was 2 years older than her, so I'm guessing she's 26. Okay, and she met up with a 42-year-old that lied. I think that, I don't know, man. But yeah, that's that story. I mean, I feel like you did the right thing, okay? But it doesn't matter what I think. That's my whole end goal of that thing. Just don't, if you want to leave, leave. And I think she did it the correct freaking way. That's the end of that. Alright. Oh, here's another Reddit thing. Oh boy. Let's get into this. Reddit drama involving mom of 2 babies who refuses to care for sick grandmother evokes heated reaction on there. Not really sure what's going on with that, just that title alone, so let's give it a read. An exasperated... Hold on, I got a fucking video playing. An exasperated mother of 2 babies voiced her close to the breaking point frustration on social media, eliciting some 1,300 reactions, including comments ranging from sympathetic understanding to strong advice to stick to her guns. My husband's grandma has been in and out of the hospital since December with health complications from back surgery, wrote the woman. And she is 30 years old and married to a 30-year-old husband. So the husband's grandma been sick, in and out of the hospital. For context, wrote the woman on Reddit, "This isn't the first surgery or injury she's had in 8 years I've been with my husband. And each time me, my husband, and my husband's mother have been her caretakers." Okay. Oh yeah, husband's grandmother, this is. I thought it was the mother. I was like, how is she a caretaker for herself? That's kind of weird. But yeah, husband's grandmother and the woman, her husband, and husband's mother are the caretakers of her. She also wrote, "This particular surgery was a more extensive one than any prior. She had I'm not sure what this is, a laminectomy, and a fusion. She was only in the hospital for 3 days after the surgery, despite not being able to walk or use the bathroom on her own." That's kind of weird that they took her out for that. She wrote, "We tried to convince her to enter a rehab facility because her and her husband work full time. The couple has a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old. They got 2 kids, and can't dedicate the time to be her caretakers. As further context, she said that her mother-in-law doesn't work but lives about 30 minutes away from my husband's grandma and often cares for her other son's child, their nephew. So the mother-in-law said the mother-in-law doesn't work in about 30 minutes, yeah. Well, I feel like she should kind of take care of her mom, in my opinion. I mean, it's nice that these fellas are, but they're both working full-time. That's kind of crazy. However, the grandmother apparently didn't listen to the family's advice about rehab. Instead, heavily relied on my husband and mother-in-law to care for her. She would call my husband at all times of the night and ask that he come to her house because she was scared or in pain. Initially, the mom continued about the situation. I was understanding, but it put a lot of stress on us because our boys don't sleep through the night consistently. Because they're about 2 and 1, I believe that I read. After about a week, the woman wrote, the grandmother began requesting that her daughter, the mother-in-law, stay the night at her house so she won't be alone. She wasn't alone. My husband's sister, age 19, currently lives with her, and while she attends college. So the grandmother has the husband's sister living there too, but she's 19 going to college. She probably doesn't have a whole bunch of time either. The arrangement, wrote the woman, continued for another few days until we and her doctor were able to convince her to go to a rehab facility. Yet while there, she calls the husband. All the calls became more frequent and more dramatic. This is where my frustration begins. I voiced my frustrations to my husband, and he shared my frustrations but felt obligated to go. It's his grandmother. I get it. Finally, though, he told his grandma that he had a full schedule at this point in life and can't be her caretaker. She went home after 3 days after finally going to the rehab facility. The woman continued about her family story. My mother-in-law then began staying at her house again. She was in and out of the hospital 5 times due to her wound not draining effectively, her growing in her inability to walk, and her pain level spiking up. Let's jump the story a little bit. She had a nurse call my husband from her cell phone and demanded on her behalf that he come to the hospital because she woke up and was scared. So it seems like this grandma got out of the hospital, didn't really want to hit this rehab facility at first. Then she did and left immediately. And just once, it just seems like she wants that husband, this woman's husband, to be a main caretaker, but he can't. He's got a lot on his plate. He's a full-time freaking worker. He has 2 kids with this young lady. They're 30 and 31, and she just really wants to be there. And in my opinion, I kind of feel like if she does want like a caretaker, maybe not be in a home just yet, I feel like the mother-in-law of this lady should kind of take care of that. She has no full-time job and lives only 30 minutes away. I feel like she should kind of like do that kind of stuff. And they have the mother-in-law has another daughter, which is the husband's sister, and she's 19 going to college and living with this grandmother right now. I feel like the mother-in-law should go there and she can hang out with the 19-year-old freaking her daughter and take care of the grandmother at the same time. I don't get that. One of the commenters said, "I'm sorry that you're so frustrated, but remember that the lady isn't your grandmother, so focus on the fact that you need more support from your husband." That's true too. I mean, if this grandmother wants the support, like it isn't your grandmother. I mean, that's a nice thing to do. I definitely get it. Maybe here and there, but you can't do it all the time unless they're like fully like living with you, which that kind of can also like tear a relationship. I know I've heard it been done before through like people that I know as well, that bringing in like your mother-in-law if they're sick and stuff, it could kind of deter a relationship. But a lot of times it does, and I'm just saying it can happen. Mainly if they get real like demanding on stuff. Like for me, I wouldn't have an issue with it. I don't think. Like if my girlfriend or whatever was like, "Oh, my mom's sick and stuff and doesn't want to go to like a home." Be like, "Can she live with us?" I'd be like, "Sure. I don't really care." Type thing. I liked helping people out and stuff, so I wouldn't mind. And I wouldn't mind if it was the other way around. Be like, "Yo, mama, are you deathly sick? You want to come live with us for a little bit?" Yeah. Go ahead. I wouldn't care, but obviously I would talk to my partner about it because that's a big thing, and it can deter relationships sometimes. But yeah, in this case here, I'd say this lady doesn't even really have to focus on that. If her husband mainly wants to focus on his grandma and her health and stuff, he has if he has the ability to, sure, he shouldn't neglect his job and his kids though. He's got to focus on his life too. But whatever decision that guy would want to make, it's his decision too. But what I would say is, don't expect your wife to be around for all that. It's a tough call with that kind of shit. And in my opinion, it seems like the grandmother is very, very, I wouldn't say selfish because you would want people to be there for you, I understand. But she did hit the rehab facility for a little bit and left immediately. I don't know. Tough sitch. It just all depends on what all those minds are thinking, man. But yeah. But anyway, I think that's just gonna about do it for this Unfiltered Friday. We went on some little rants there. It was pretty good, I think. But yep, that's gonna do it. Like I said in the beginning, please subscribe to the YouTube channel that we have, and please, I think you can follow. I don't know how the podcast sites work. Okay, I don't really use podcast sites a whole bunch here and there. But I know on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Casts, you're able to add them to your library, which I am seeing just like, and I'm not hating on you, okay? I'm just saying I'm seeing a lack of that in my podcast, what do they call that? Analytics. I'm seeing a lack of adding that to your library, and I'd love to see you over there. I love when those numbers jump up a little bit. So I'd love to see you guys add the podcast to your library. And I also have on the Spotify podcast site, if you're using that, I also add Q&As over there, so if you ever want to answer a question or like ask me a question or something, please add one over there and I'll see it. We can interact with each other a little bit, get to know each other, have a good time. That's what I'm here for, man. And always, yeah, if you're on the YouTube as well, leave some comments, man. I'll reply to you, like it, all the above, man. I love talking to people, man. So I'd appreciate that wholly. But anyway, I hope you have a good darn day and take it easy. It's a lovely freaking Friday, bro. First of the month, man. Make yourself. I was gonna say make yourself useful, but fucking make yourself at home. Do some shit. Keep killing it, man. Keep killing it. Mike D signing out, baby.